Chances are you may have already seen some of the abuse that tourists have been taking this summer in crowded destinations. In Barcelona, they got doused with squirt guns. Other places have been making their messages clear through graffiti. And some are just outright protesting in the faces of tourists. Are the tourists to blame for this? If not, whose fault is it? I'm Doug Lansky, and this is Rethinking Tourism. If you've been on the road at all this summer, chances are you may have experienced some crowds. Was that your fault when you showed up and saw it was crowded? Maybe if you were heading to Venice or Dubrovnik or Barcelona or any other popular spots, you knew you were taking your chances. But you still didn't really know how crowded it would be or what else you might be affecting until you showed up and some angry local got in your face and let you know. In fact, some of the people protesting may have done some traveling as well, and maybe they turned up somewhere and realized they were contributing to the overcrowding. Imagine if it was a sports arena or concert venue. If they sold you a ticket and let you in, you assume there's going to be space for you. And that's why we assume the same with destinations. In other words, I don't believe it's the tourist's fault at all. Most travelers book 3 to 9 months in advance when there's no crowds and the destination is doing a lot of promotion to come and visit. Travelers try to visit places. That's what they do. I believe it's the destination's job to limit the capacity. Just like teenagers will try to stay out late, it's the job of the parents to set the boundaries. And cruise ships and buses are like those strangers who try to park in your driveway. If you let them, they're going to keep doing it. It may be the destination's job to manage the destination, and I'll get into some of those management techniques in a future video. But I believe it's also the right of the protester to protest. In fact, I think it's necessary to get the attention of politicians and tour companies and cruise lines and force them to make some tough decisions. Otherwise, the politicians will likely just be listening to the wealthy owners of tourist businesses who want more visitors. And this comes at the expense of the masses who get little from it but crowds, pollution, a drain on their culture, and low-paying jobs. And even though you can say it's not fair for the protesters to target the tourists, protests are, by nature, a disruptive force seeking attention to affect change. And as long as it's nonviolent, I think it's fair to give them some leeway. Even though putting limits on visitors to control the overcrowding won't be popular, and many will fight against it, in the long run, the destination will reap the benefits. The majority of locals will like it more. The visitors will enjoy the space and lack of crowds and better service. With a reputation for no crowds, the destination won't need to spend as much of their budget to attract visitors. And that's especially true for wealthy tourists who really hate the crowds. And if everyone isn't allowed to come at once, that's the most effective thing a destination can do to extend the tourist season and make it all more manageable. So destinations, the crowds are on you. Stay tuned to this channel, and I will be sharing some smart ideas to limit visitors. Until next time. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel to get commentary on all the latest travel news.